you find this beneficial, if you're thinking about starting a small farm.
We can't fit any more cows on the
And
farm
we can't fit
either.
any more. Well, we can fit some more cows. Hey everyone, this is Mike and Kelsey at Sweet Briar Farm. In this video we're going to talk about our income from 2023. So we shared with you that we made a little bit of money off of YouTube last year. So this video is going to focus on what the farm actually brought in as far as income. Now we have 6 main operations. We have the goats, we have the pigs, we have the cattle, we have the bees, we have produce, and then we have our products, which would be like our soaps and stuff like that that Kelsey makes. And then we have technically 7 if you count YouTube. Now when we're talking about these numbers and going through this, you have to remember the scale. We are a 6-acre small farm, so there's challenges with that. Some things are easier with small property, and some things are more time consuming and actually more work than if you had a large farm with big barns and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind when we're going through these numbers. We'll start with the goats. So the goats brought in $6,300 with a total expenses of $4,600. The expenses include things like the feed, grain, veterinary care, so any medications, wormers, vaccinations,
disease testing, and registration fees.
So all of that would be included in all of these expenses as we're going through. So we're counting in the feed, we're counting in all those expenses. So for the goats, we net profited $1,700. That's by selling 23 kids. And
then we also sold off 4 fainting goats, our breeding stock. We sold those.
So we sold a bunch of those goats. So we've reduced the size of our herd a little bit for this year, but we made all that income from selling the animals. The next thing, the pigs. So the pigs, we raised out a bunch of pigs last winter. We sold them in the spring. We raised out a bunch over the spring and summer and put those in our freezers for our freezer sales. And the income from the pigs, so this is including selling the piglets and all that as well, the income was $12,800 with the expenses being about $8,600. So that's $4,200 in profit, but I actually have about $2,000 worth of pork still in our freezers for our freezer sales. So our freezer sales are still going on in 2024. Whether or not we renew that and keep doing that, we haven't really decided. So we did have the coonies as well. That was not included in what I just talked about. The coonies piglet sales brought in $6,200 from the 2 litters of piglets, and the expenses for that was about $700. So coonies are much cheaper to feed, so the expenses would include the registration fees and stuff like that as well.
You're regretting getting rid of the coonies now that you see the numbers?
Well, the net profit for those was $5,500. So we sold those coonies. We originally got them because the kids wanted them as pets, and then to breed them. But the kids kind of lost interest in those, and therefore I lost interest in them because I would rather raise the big pigs due to the speed of pork production. I'd rather sell off the majority of the piglets to provide the income for the feed, and then butcher costs and stuff like that, and have that pork in the freezer in a couple, like 6-7 months. So that's why basically we got out of the coony. The bees, the income of that is always a little bit different. I didn't sell any bulk honey this year, but I figure I made about $2,000 in honey sales and about $900 in expenses. So I did buy 4 packages of bees and then a bunch of bottles for bottling honey. So roughly $1,100 in honey profit. And again, these numbers are estimates. We haven't finished doing our accounting for the years. We haven't factored in things like electricity and stuff like that. So IRS, these aren't the numbers you'll see. The produce. Produce has always been a good money maker. We started farmsteading here in West Branch in about 2015, 2016, starting with produce and eggs. So we had a bunch of chickens. We've been homesteading since 2009 when Kelsey and I, after we graduated from college. So farmsteading for income, we started with the produce. And that's one takeaway from this video. If you're getting started, start with produce, start with some chickens, throw some seed in the ground if you have the space, and you make money doing that. We live in a rural community, and our customer base has built up over the years, and people just love the fresh produce in the summer, and it makes money. I spent about $1,000 in seed last year, and I made about $8,000 on the farm stand. So $7,000 net profit from just selling produce. So tomatoes, peppers, green beans, and stuff like that.
And the produce I find is the easiest to sell. We just have a self-serve farm stand that operates on the honor system. And our customers, we've been doing it long enough now. Everybody knows the routine. They know they're welcome to stop by any time, and they don't knock on the front door anymore like they used to. It's not a major interruption to our day. And I think it's very popular with the community.
And the older that I've gotten here, we started doing this, I was still in my early 30s. And now I don't rush to wake up in the morning to pick. If you ever stop by our farm stand in the summertime, the best time to do it is after 11, after I have my breakfast, wake up, then go pick, and then get the fresh stuff out by 11 o'clock a.m. So the nice thing, like I said, the ease of it, the produce like cucumbers and green beans, it will last a few days on the stand too. So I keep things as fresh as possible. Anything that starts to go bad after a few days, actually it never goes bad. Maybe some tomatoes, if I'm not paying attention to tomatoes, it might get a rotten tomato, but after a couple days I throw all like the old cucumbers to the pigs because I'll have bushels of them coming in to restock. So real easy money maker. The soap, the products line of our farm, I figure we kind of maybe broke even on that this year.
Yeah.
We spent about $600 or so in chemicals, and now chemicals meaning lye for the soap making process. We use lard, we use tallow, goat milk from our own animals for the majority of the ingredients that go into those soaps.
But those are high cost ingredients. It costs us a lot to produce those items.
Yeah, I'm counting those as free though, so I didn't factor that into the $600. So income from that, I'd say maybe we broke even and you sold $600 worth of those products last year. Now, the expensive part, my cows. We had an income of about $11,500 from selling beef. The expenses, $19,800. A net loss of $8,300. Now, I bought 5 breeding cows and heifers for a total of $8,700, and I bought 6 steers this year for about $2,700. I spent $11,400 in just the animals in 2023. And had we not done that, we would have been plus $100. Actually, would have been
plus 100.
Well, it would have been better than that because the hay, as you increase the number of animals, you have to feed them. So yeah, we would have made a little bit of money had I not bought the cows. We would have done pretty good on the cattle if I didn't buy any. So just from those operations, the total income was $47,400. That's on 6 acres. That's pretty good. The expenses, $36,200 for 6 acres of farming. Again, scale. If we had 100 acres, we could have made maybe $470,000 and spent $360,000. So, you got to consider the scale. That's a net profit of $11,200. That's for the main operations. But I'm not done yet, because with farming, even on the small scale, there's maintenance, there's upgrading costs as well. So we spent $1,500 on a new hay trailer. I can haul more hay now. I have more animals. I go through 10 round bales a month. So I'm hauling lots of hay. A livestock trailer. We upgraded the livestock trailer. I bought one for $4,000. It's refurbished, repainted, real nice compared to my old one. I sold the old one because I had new tires on it. Basically, I sold it for the cost of the tires, $900 I got. So net loss of $3,100. And then my Bobcat. I bought a Bobcat. I replaced my old one. I bought a track machine with heat and air. Those were wants. I didn't have to do that. My other Bobcat was just fine. It worked just fine, but I'm getting older and I get cold, so I needed heat because I use that thing a lot to move the hay around. I bought the new Bobcat for $28,500 and I sold the old Bobcat for $20,000. So that's a net loss of $8,500. And I did take that $8,500 in debt. So my plan is to pay that off this spring. But I took it as debt because I needed the cash for the winter feed bill. Yeah, $13,100 in the upgrading equipment cost. So for the total income for 2023, we are minus $1,900.
And we didn't get paid.
We didn't factor in YouTube at all into those numbers as well. YouTube cost us money too because we bought a new camera. We pay for a music licensing, memory cards. So we brought in $3,500 from YouTube. I have a net income from YouTube for about $1,600.
Just about broke even.
We're just about broke even. Well, we have goals for the farm. We talked about this in our last videos. The goal for us personally is not for the farm to replace one of our jobs. Both of us work off farm. We're both teachers at a community college. We want to work for the pension in the future. We want to work for the health insurance and stuff like that. Our goal for farming is not to replace one of our full-time jobs. It is to keep us busy.
We want the experience. We want our kids to grow up with this experience of being self-sufficient and confident and being willing to learn and try new things and to persevere when things are tough. There's a lot of really good lessons, life lessons that come from farming, and I can't imagine life without my goats.
Well, that's one farmer's perspective. My perspective is we're growing our own food. We're making a little money on the side. I'm able to buy a Bobcat with heat. So, yeah, we're doing this for personal reasons, somewhat financial reasons. It's not a hobby. This is not a hobby farm. When you have income of almost $50,000 and spending $36,000, that's not a hobby. We've turned this over the years into a business. And now going forward, our goal is for that business to make some money, because otherwise we'd have to get another full-time job. Some overall takeaways. Like I said, small farming, doesn't matter what the scale is, you're always upgrading. You're always putting money out in order to bring money in. Even if you're just homesteading, that's the same thing. You're spending money, canning jars, and you're upgrading your canning equipment and stuff like that. So you're always putting money out when you're homesteading, farmsteading. And that should be the goal, even as a homesteader, to try to bring in some income, even if it's just like we're on a farmstead system where we're trying to produce food for more income. Whereas a homestead, you might grow one pig for you, grow one pig for a family member to supplement the cost of your food. Okay, so that's the difference between homesteading and farmsteading. Homesteaders, you're probably more or less just trying to break even. Farmsteading, we're trying to bring in a little bit more money for the reasons we talked about. We are going into year 5 with the large livestock. Like I said, we started homesteading back in 2009. Then we started farmsteading when we moved up here to West Branch in 2015 or so, when we started the farm stand. And like I said, the easiest way to make money farmsteading is produce. Start small, work your way up. If your goal is to eventually have cows, start with the chicken, start with the gardening, go with the goat, learn as you go. And we've shared how much money we've spent on these cows. I'll link the video to the what it costs to start a Dexter cattle herd. But it is expensive, and we slowly built up over the last 4 years to where we are now. And our goal, and I'm not even going to say like our goal is to make money in 2025. Our goal is to beat these numbers, though.
Well, we should be in the black.
We should do better, because I don't have any plans to do any major upgrades. So.
Or we can't fit any more cows on the
And we
farm
can't fit
either.
any more. Well, we can fit some more cows. we got a space. We got a space under our bedroom window. No. So those are some takeaways from this video. Hopefully you find this beneficial. If you're thinking about starting a small farm, don't let the big guys with the big puffy chests scare you off of starting a farm. We get comments all the time, we're a hobby farm and all that stuff. Hey, we're growing food, we're selling it. Call us what you want.
We're still gonna do it.
We're still gonna do it, and we'll take you along with us. So here's to 2024, and hopefully the year is profitable for you as well as us. So.
Yes. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.